Right, what's up? I'm in my headband. What's going on? I'm in my headband again. You know, this is one of my headbands that I wear my Ryu style, man. You know, nah, it was just made from an old T-shirt. I just cut up a piece of material. You sometimes see it in my workout videos and dumbbells videos and stuff. But yeah, martial arts, you know, proper Rambo'd up. But as I say, it's what it's all about, man. You know, it's all about that good stuff. You got your Ryu, you got your Rambo, you got your Kung Fury, you got your fucking, who else wears it? I don't know. A Solid Snake in there. You know what I'm saying? In the green military. I don't know. I don't know. So basically, welcome to this. I got the headband on for a bit of fun. Got ambient music playing in the background, very relaxing music that I made as well. I like to make some like different kinds of music to listen to in the background too when I'm doing my artwork. This is another art video. This image, I didn't draw this image, but I find it very, very useful to use certain references and stuff for like head positions and stuff. I'm just going to show you something. The other day, last night, I stayed up pretty late again, to say the least, and I was basically doing a lot of like practice drawing for different heads and things. And I think since I'm not going to be using all of this anyway, I thought I'd show you. First of all, I'm going to show you a lot of the artwork that I've been doing recently, and then we're going to start make a setup sheet for some heads, and we're going to talk about drawing heads, okay, for characters. Let me just show you a few things though. So I drew this character the other day, quite a little rough design for a character that I drew the other day. That's one there I did. I'm not going to be going with that character exactly. I'm saving that for something, we'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet. What else have we got here? So I've got other face images and things. I've got some other stuff, I won't show you those yet, some faces and stuff. But I'll show you this, right. I made this sheet here with there's a load of images in this, where is it? Hold on. This folder here. Some of my own designs from last night. Just practicing drawing heads, and you can see that my head's about the same size here, man. Which is a good point. I could probably just look at the camera and turn my hairline and just draw and use that for reference. You know what I mean? Really. You know, when you think about it, but there's so much out that you can use for reference. But anyway, let's just to get to the point. So just trying to draw heads from different angles, you know. Now we're going on to some hairstyles, and these are really roughly done hairstyles from different angles we're looking at here. So this, another one here. I'm just going to go through these quickly, okay, fairly quickly, but you can see I'm just practicing drawing them. Here we got a load of headgear. Look at this. I'm going to do some more as well. I'm just doing some rough designs. You can see I used that rough image, that this one, where is it? This image here, to draw over. I didn't draw this head, but I found it online and just copied it. I'm just like practicing, just using it as a reference, you know, to draw last night, because last night I was trying to like reference. Just trying to design different kinds of headgear, masks and stuff, and some real basic stuff. This here again, like beards and stuff, beards and things. More hairstyles here. See, this I done this. Obviously, I just drew the hair on top. So just practicing some different methods. This one, these ones, various ones there, more here. Okay, so you got a bunch of them. These ones, there we go, and here, and here. I was doing this up until late last night, you see, and that's basically all of them for that collection there as such. So I can go back through that just really quickly. Boom, 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 boom. All those loads. All late last night I was doing all of these, you know. And as I say, I've done a load of like practice of drawing the body in different positions too, and poses. It's very hard, I find. Yeah, let's go back into what we got. So I'm going to show you some other artwork that I've done recently too, like some scenery stuff, art practice. A lot of these images you've seen already, but I'm just going to basically, what I'll do is I'll just pick out certain ones I want to show you. So I want to show you some you may have seen before. I'm just going to go over a couple of them. Okay, I'm going to try and show you mostly the 2D sort of stuff. I think what I'll do is I'll just go through them all again, just here, the whole folder, and then, you know, just so you can see some of the stuff, because some people might have missed some of the stuff before. So some of the stuff I've been working with is like 3D and stuff, you know, and like some of my own designs and stuff. I'm just working like using 3D to help me with the 2D, but I'm not going to focus on the 3D here. I'm just going to show you the 2D stuff. Here we go. This. Okay. I've done this one. These practice ones, designs, a bit rough, but yeah. Just taking you through these images. So all of them done by me, as I said, all of these. Just going through the 3D stuff really quickly to get to the 2D stuff. Some of these 3D ones are nice, but it's the fact that, you know, see like this for example again, and the other one, but you know, but it's like I'm trying to work my best on the 2D, plus the freehand, like this here, you know, this one. Just practicing, you know, drawing characters and stuff. Sometimes this is as I say again, another one of those ones where it's 3D made to look 2D, but this as well, and I love this one, how this turned out, 3D but made to look 2D, and it's got some painted trees in there too. You can see that more or less, but the only problem is sometimes you can really see, can't you, when something is coming from a 3D and it doesn't look totally perfect. So I'm trying to practice my 2D like freehand art and stuff, you know. Let's see, that's from 3D. That's freehand. This one freehand. As you can see, it's just a building that's been copied and pasted everywhere. Freehand. That's a photo made to look like a drawing. Freehand. But you know, this is 3D. See, 3D can help you for perspective, you know. But it's just like, you know. But it's just like, you know, it's good sometimes. So I use 3D to help me with this, and I drew this over the top, you know. 3D. This is 3D made to look 2D, and it looks nice, right? You know, you can get really creative with your designs and stuff. I could draw on top of this too, and whatever, you know. It's an option, so I probably will be using a bit of this too. That's freehand. Hold on. What? As again, using 3D as reference, but drawing over it. Freehand. Again, 3D as reference, but freehand drawing. Freehand. 3D as a reference, but freehand drawn on top. Again here, 3D made to look 2D ish. Freehand, or like with photo like shaped brushes and stuff. This one again, a bit of, as I say, 3D reference, but drawn on top to get a 2D one. I'm very happy with this one. Very happy with this one as well. One of the ones. Freehand with like special brushes and stuff. Yep. Freehand. As you can see what I mean when I say using 3D for reference. This is an example here. You can see how I've drawn over one of the shapes to make a building, But there's a difference between making actual 3D things and then using them in the image and just making them look 2D. There's a difference to what I'm saying here. Like, this is, you know, just drawing on top of like making it, you know, my own design, you know, but like using 3D as a reference. Okay, more practice of some weird looking faces. This is a video one I've shown you before. It just goes, it's a 3D scene, the camera floats around the scene, moving around, and it's just like made to look 2D. I'm not going to play that here. Okay, freehand using special brushes and stuff made from photos and so. Practicing drawing outfits, clothes and stuff like from different positions, drawn over photos. These are drawn over photos. I didn't draw the heads in. Don't worry, it's not a Halloween thing. I didn't just practicing the bodies there. There's another image like that you'll see later on too. Freehand, obviously using certain brushes. Again, there's that one there. 3D but made to look 2D-ish sort of thing, you know. Yeah, this one with special brushes and stuff, just freehand with special brushes and stuff made from different pattern shaped brushes and things, and photos like textured brushes, you know, and stuff. Really happy with that kind of stuff. Get the detail. Freehand, totally freehand this one. Now you got to understand, like, I draw a few leaves, make it into a brush, and just blast it all over the place, making the trees, you know. Good. 3D made to look 2D, and you can see how beneficial it is doing it this way. I mean, you get the shadows just there anyway, where you want them. You know, if I was to have a scene like this in a cartoon, there would be nothing wrong with that. It looks good. You know, I think it looks good. You can put other details on top, like trees and stuff in the foreground or whatever you're gonna have. I mean, imagine that. No. Little details, and you could really do some nice scenes. But I'm just sharing that here, okay, to show. Again, 3D made to look 2D, and here's the actual 3D image of that. Rough scribbles made into characters. Freehand with special brushes, a bit over the top, that one. 3D made to look 2D. Freehand, obviously. Again, another one there, special brushes and stuff made freehand. Freehand. Quick fart one of me. Special brushes and stuff here, freehand, such. Oh, and that's all of them basically. Okay, that's all of them. So there's some images there. I thought I'd just show you. Okay, some images. Okay, so I've been working my arse off hardcore. Now, what I've got here, I want to show you something, and I don't know how well it's going to come up on this screen. You can see I've got to zoom in to show you. I think the best way to do this would be, because you see they're so faint, I've got these so faint. Can you see this so faint, these shapes? But what they are basically is, I think I won't waste time showing you that. I'll just get on to making a new one. I'm going to make a new one anyway, so we're going to go into Blender, and I'm going to show you how you can make a guide thing. Before we do that, just so you get what I'm talking about, we're going to look at a couple of things, right? So let's put Blender down for a second and just go to Firealpaca really quickly. I've been doing things recently where I'm looking at just in general, like, hold on, open, let me go back here. I've got to find the thing there. Hold on. Okay, right, so I've been doing this thing recently where I draw faces in a certain way, where I go, hold on, move myself over here for a second. Right, hold on, still recording, right? We should still be recording. Hold on 1 second. Hope we are. Hold on 1 second. We're still recording, right? Yep, we are. Under 15 minutes already still, but okay, let's have a look. So yeah, I'd go with like a rough thing. I'll just use a red for a second here. I usually just do a circle like that, and I do the guide like this. Okay, that's what I usually do. Sometimes I'll put a little mark for the ear, where the ear is going to be, a little mark like that, and I'll do that, and I'll put it faint, and I'll go on top of that, you know, and I'll do my character. So the nose will be, the eyes will be on that line, the nose will be there. This will go down like a chin about here, and it goes up and then back up to the ear, where the ear is going to be about there. I'll imagine where the hairline is going to be about there, see, and I'll put the eyebrows or whatever, you know, and the eyes can be just above the, just below the line or above it, it's up to you, you know, and I'll do that, you know, and I'll put that in, and I'll put the hair like whatever it's going to be, you know, a bit around the head outside of that, you know, circle space of it, you know. Yeah, around the head, obviously, you know. So I'll be there like that. So, and then sometimes I'll put the mouth in just there, you know, and I'll just do it like that. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. You know, I'll work it that way. So I might put a big nose or whatever it's going to be. I'm doing a very cartoony looking thing here just to show you. You know, you can put different kind of hairstyles and stuff. You know, whatever it's going to be. You get the idea, right? You know, whatever we're going to have, and just you know, make your styles up, right? You can get rid of the back thing. But what I'm doing is I'm working with different styles. So basically, that came from a thing like where you do a circle, you do the line in the middle like that, and a line down, and you put this point in there for the chin, right? And there's actually a way of doing it, and it's really weird because in, like, I know, like, you see a lot of anime, like manga type style, where they put it like this, and this is like lower down, it's like not exactly in the middle, and they do it that way. You see different things like that, and usually what happens is that the nose falls on the bottom there, you know, this goes down here, and then sometimes halfway like that, and then goes down like that. I've seen it also where it goes like this, nose here, and it just goes more or less straight down like that. You know, some faces are going to be wider or shorter. You can have different shapes too, don't forget. You can have like really weird shapes if you wanted to, more squared kind of faces. It still works, you get the idea. But I'm just saying, like, when you do a circle like this and do the line in the middle, you got this here, and you can still put like a line here, like that could be where the eyebrows go anyway. When you do the eyes, you could have like, there's a space in between two eyes with the same space as one eye space, and you've got a little bit like half and half here on the outside, space wise. The nose can be anywhere. I mean, you could do it here and then put the mouth. That's what I usually sometimes just work it out. Goes in a little bit there, out for the cheeks, and then go down. I'm not trying to do an epic tutorial on faces. This is a rough thing, alright? You know, if you see it on this side, for example, see there, you know, that's it. Basically, like, so you have the eye there. The eyes on the side have been more like this kind of a shape. See, whereas on the front they're like this. You see, it's like on the side and the front sort of thing. So side, front. But I'm saying, like, you do a basic thing like rough. I'm just doing a rough thing here to show you. See. And then the nose will be pointed out, and then, but the face is like, from here, it's like, it's got this indentation, and it goes out for the cheek, so it goes indentation there, and then it goes up here, and then goes up into where the ear is going to be, you know. And it's just, I'm just doing a rough thing. It's not like a proper thing. I'm just showing what I'm doing, you know, and basically well, basically what it is I'll be like, when you do it, it's like you can do it a couple of ways. Like, there's one thing called the Loomis method. Loomis, is it? Andrew Loomis or something. He's famous for this stuff. And then you've got the other, the Bridgman thing I've been looking at too. The Bridgman is like for the body, how they use different cubes and blocks and things to shape the positions of the poses for the body and stuff too. But the head, look at this Loomis thing. I'm going to explain it in a moment, just quickly. I'm very fond of, a big fan of certain artists. You know, I like Bob Ross as well, right? But a lot. But I'm going to say, you know, Kim Jong-gi, got to get that name right there. Kim Jung-gi is a great artist, and I like some of his videos he shows about drawing all kinds of stuff and drawing the pose, the positions for the head and the body and everything. It's just great, the anatomy, the positioning. But let's just look at this, okay? Like I was just saying to you, we just finish on this part quickly. When you do the eye line, you could do like a small one like that, as I say, it's in small eyes, see? Or you could do like, you don't always put two lines in, what I'm saying, you could do like that, and something gonna have bigger eyes. You could put like circles first, you see, just to get the basic idea. You could even put the nose and put like a face expression, like a bit cartoony looking, you know, and then from there you could go on top of that and just work out your design, what it's going to be like, you know, however your character's going to look, I don't know, you know. And then get like, you know, more anime, manga kind of look. I don't know, I'm not doing a great job, I know, but you know what I mean though, just work it out, you know, and work out your hair and all the rest of it and work out some designs, I don't know. But yeah, so now we're going to look at this thing I'm talking about, this Loomis method thing that I've been learning. I really like it, to be honest with you. Just reopen this project, open recent file, boom, bang, okay. So I've been learning about this, where you put like can't even see me, can you? Here I am, dudes, talking to you. But you can put, and that's not important, but still, you can put like excuse me, where am I? Oh, there we are. Yeah, I can put like what is the Loomis method? You got like this. I'll show you a couple of spheres. I'll just do a few, and you'll just see what I'm doing here. So it's like, first one like this, okay. You got like this. This is here, basically. As far as I know, that's right. Yeah. Something like that. And I'm not doing it perfectly, I'm just trying to say, okay, so there, okay, this goes here, there's another small circle on the outside here, and this line comes across the top and the bottom, just like that. This is here, line down the center, let's say here, and on this side, and there's a circle, and then there's this center line. So it's basically like the center line across, then you've got a top and a bottom piece, a line going across the middle there and on the side, and there's a circle on the side, smaller circle that's split into 4 parts basically. So I put this a bit, we'll have this slightly, hang on, we'll have this slightly looking down, I don't know, something like, this circle's a bit iffy, this circle, that's what it is. You're trying to imagine it's a sphere shape. Tennis ball almost, isn't it? That's giving me ideas. No. Just kidding. So that could be here, this say, see. A bit rough, that one's a bit rough, I know, but you get the idea, right? And what you get is this line down the center of the face, a straight line to where the chin's going to be, so you can straight on the angle. Yeah. Could do one more on this side over here. Have this one right on the side, almost on the side, so, and that goes there, you see, and then this will be on the side like that. This line here, okay. And I've been practicing this Loomis method, or whatever you call it, okay. Loomis, that's right, yeah. I'm gonna bring it down here, and what you do is, I know my sketches are really rough here, I know that. They're not perfectly angled, I must say, you know. But let's just go there. So I'll literally go in. Just zoom in for a second. Hold on. I'll zoom in there for a second, and I'll come here. Ah shit! I'll zoom in. Damn it. What I'll do is I'll just move myself over there move myself somewhere, god damn it, like up there. So basically I'll just zoom in there, and I'll just come in, and as I say, they all do like different things, like, you know, the eyes, as I say, there could be a lower line. You can imagine it being a lower line. Hold on. Imagine it being like that. Could be where the eyebrows go, you see. And you could put the eyes in here. So I wouldn't draw that line in, obviously, unless I wanted to in the actual guide, or just put this middle line a bit lower, like I showed you earlier. It seems that kind of thing, you know. But you could just do a couple of stylized eyes or something, you know. And what you do is you put the nose on this bottom part here. Doing a rough design. I think the eyes are a little bit too close together. I don't know, they look a little bit, maybe the nose is too long, I'm not too sure. But what you do is you put the mouth there just below where it is, like just there, work it, you know. Put some cheeks in, put that a bit, you know, put the jaw down there maybe longer, and then go down, make it really pointy, or flatten it off there and then, you know, put it there. If you think it's too wide, you can like put it down, obviously, like that. And it's the case of, I'm not going to draw the same face on every one. The ears, the top of the ears go to basically where the eyebrows are. You know, this guy's ears are sticking out kind of big, right? You know, and you do your character. You know, I'm just doing a rough. I'm not going to do the whole head. I'm not going to draw the whole thing in. But you get the idea. Get the idea, right? You know what they say to you. This this one's a bit not straight enough, right? That one. So we'll go basically in, and I'll just do a couple of eyes on here. And I'll just do, so this nose. The funny thing is, sometimes you don't see this line here. Sometimes it's just like on the bottom of this circle, anyway. You know, because you can see we've got this square shape in here. And like when I usually do things, I usually just do a circle and the line here, and that's down the middle. So you could just do the eyes here and the nose here and the mouth, you know, and do that. But the thing is, like, you can actually just do it like, you can put the nose anywhere. So I could put the nose just in here anyway, and I could, even if I don't want to put my mouth right down there, I could do, but I could just put my mouth like, not my mouth, but put it somewhere here, and then just work out the rough shape for it, you know. The ears will probably be in there somewhere. Go here and then, you know, make that however you will, you know. You put the rest of the head in, obviously, you know. Put the eyebrows there if you wanna. You wanna put the eyes lower, you can put the eyes lower. You know, sometimes I find myself like practicing stuff and putting the eyes, just moving them if I want to anyway, like that. See? Yeah, see? It's not supposed to be scary. There's no pupils there. I'm not talking about students, I'm talking about the eyes, the Halloweenness of it. Practice different face expressions, hairstyles and stuff. Let's just do another similar face on the other side here. So we're remembering that this middle line is where the eyes and the eyebrows and all that go. Trying to remember the angles of perspective as well, and where the nose is. So we're looking up kind of thing at the nose. So do like a kind of like triangle there. Trying to keep them all on the right angle. So here, now remember what I said about it goes in where the eyes are slightly. You ain't going to follow this circle all the way, so, but the cheeks are going to go out a little bit like that. I'm going to go here. Oh, this corner part of this square circle that's on the side, this circle that's on the side of the head here, this part, this area, the back corner is going to be where the ear goes. Okay, that's where the ear goes. So I'll show you what I mean. We're doing this now. Couple of eyes in there, damn it. That bottom of the nose would be in shadow kind of thing, you know. Haven't got to do it so this and that. Okay, there. So put the mouth in, you know, in the right position, kind of thing. The bottom of the chin is something that I've had a lot of trouble trying to do. This is a very hard angle to get. So trying to get it right still is hard for me, even trying to figure that out. See the chin there, the bottom of the chin. But you can do a lot of reference practice and stuff, you know. So that goes there. You can make it even further up if you want. It goes back and then up slightly, like the jaw. That goes slightly right curved, but you know. Okay, and then the ear though goes in here. It's a rough sketch. If you're just doing a real one, you'd go on top of this and do a proper, better one, as I say, better one. Okay, that's there, you know, got the idea, you know, and then you get your heads in, get your heads in, yo, get your heads in, ho, so, hoes, a bit there, and then, I said that it looks a bit like a very, kind of young face. It's very rounded. So I could have like, you know, I could have made it like a longer jaw. So we're not going to see too much of the top of the head because of the angle. But again, you're going to keep in mind the a lot of things. Say the angle, the positioning. Just to go back down there to the neck there. The neck would be about there, right? I find this so hard. So anybody looking at this, seeing me struggling, you know, don't laugh. I mean, I'm sure you're much better. It's really hard for me, but yeah. But you know, you just see what I'm saying. So yeah, you can put more details in and stuff on the face if you want a little marks or whatever. So next one. So you can see what we're basically doing. Let's just do a quick thing here. So I'll put like eyes there. Put a big nose there. The nose falls on that bottom line, as I say there. Basically the bottom of the circle, like, you know. I'm just doing a really quick thing to show you. Just like going here, see? The ear goes in the back corner there. You know, and then putting this hair on. And so you're not following the circle necessarily the whole way, you're just doing it roughly, you know. So this one's more or less the same as what we just had, with a big nose. You can practice with some like cartoony faces. You might think that's funny, but it's not, because whether you want to do cartoon stuff or not anyway, or like serious kind of anime stuff and that, the thing is, put a hat on him. The thing is, like, you know, it's still good practice, because you're going to practice expressions and shapes of faces and stuff. And what I tried the other day was I tried actually doing this same thing. Okay. But, oh, excuse me. I tried it the other day. I tried doing the same method, basically, you know. The same way, but doing slightly different shaped heads, but using the same shape. I'll show you in a moment how, what I mean. I know this is not very good, my drawing here, it's not very good, I know, but you get the idea, right? I'm just practicing some stuff here. So I'm doing this one's more or less the same. Nose on the corner there. Oh, that's going to be the wrong way actually, isn't it? There. Yeah, okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And you get the idea, right? I think the best one here. The best one here has got to be this one, hasn't it? Okay, there we go. Right, I'm just saying roughly, that's a rough thing. And you can just try certain things if you wanna, you know, just do a few designs, you know, and see what you come up with, you know. Just going really quickly here, just really quickly. Some rough colours and stuff. Whatever. Here we go. And you know, it looks better when it's got the colour in it, you know, I must say, you know. And just see what you can get, you know. It's really rough, but I'm just saying, you know. You know, go in, do some designs. Do some shadow, whatever you want to do there, see? Just do a quick thing, just really quickly, just show you here. Yeah. Put a bit of shadow underneath his chin there, you know. Follow the shape of the head when you're doing that. And you know, you can do some stuff. It's rough, I'm just saying, you know, a bit of fun. So now we're going to look at something, okay? So before we do that, I'm going to show you something else. So that is one way of doing things, right? So you've got doing it that way, like I showed you, or just doing a circle, just doing a simple circle like sphere, and then doing that. That's what I usually like to do. Just do a simple circle, and then imagine like they have a cross, and imagine where the ear is going to be. This basically represents a circle here with the cross, and then this, understanding where that corner is there. And then what that really is the same as the Loomis method when you got it like that, but you're just keeping that all in mind, and we're not drawing this line in for the chin and everything else, you know. We're just literally just making it up as we go, like making the shapes up as we go. See, so like, you hold it 1 second. Yeah, just like literally just coming on top. So there, I would literally come in, right, use a thicker pen just to show you, you know, up to there, right. This is a rough thing, I'm not even following the perspective properly, you know, because I'd have to really, I should be doing the chin like a little bit up, you see, you know, and then it goes up like that here, and then, you know, here, right, something like that, you know. But I'm just saying, right, see, the same thing, I'll just do it that, see what I'm saying, the same, what I'm trying to say is I'll just follow it the same way. Oh, what the hell. They're back, they're back. They're back, the Halloween kids. Okay, but yeah, so you know, so when I do it, that's one way of doing it. But what I'm saying is you can also do it like this. You can also do like it's like a cube. You know, like we had the circle like this, right? You can also have like a cube with 4, and a cube you can see it from different angles, right? Like the cube can be seen from different angles, right? Like that, like a Christmas present, man. But what I'm trying to say is, you can do it with like 6 parts, and that basically makes you have the same thing. So there, you see, that's one angle, like I showed you earlier on that image, right? I think I showed you, yeah. So here, and then here, and then here, here. Yeah, no, I showed you that. So, and that basically is the same thing. So what you're doing is you'd be there, and you'd have that same thing. So eyes about here, see? The nose would fall on that part here. I know it's a bit flat because I'm doing it like this. This is the weird thing. The mouth's going to be here. The ear's going to be in the back. Remember, this is the circle area. Remember this, okay, with the circle inside. So really what we're doing is that with this back area is going to be where the ear goes here. Okay, the ones we're really going to be using are these ones. Watch. These are the ones we're using for the whole thing, really, mainly. Okay, we're not using this one much, okay. So the ear would be in here. Eyebrows can be there, or whatever. Or you can do, as I say, the eyes can be like below this, and then the eyebrows can be on that line. It's up to you. Remember, you've got to get the angle, the perspective right and stuff, and you've got to remember to keep the face shape, like this could go in a little bit where the eyes are, out where the cheeks are down to the chin, you know, and you know, back a little bit up, see, and it goes up here into where the ear is, and the back of the head is around here, kind of thing, and the back of the neck goes into there, see, and that's how it works. See, like that, yeah, basically like that. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to keep blue for a second. So you're basically doing like a cube, like a rectangle, a cuboid it's called, you know, with 6 parts on here and then 4 on the top and the bottom. So four sides with 6 tall ways, not long ways, and then 4 on the bottom and top. So basically what it is, you know. Mostly it's the size that's important, you know. So I can do that in different angles, the same way as I'll draw my circle, let's say, see, or my Loomis one, like that, you know, and then like that, say, same thing. But that's what it is, you see, that's exactly what it is. It's like, this is here, see, you can see it even, like, you can see, like, this is here, so you can literally see that. And then this will be where the chin is here, see, this is here, and then here, see, 6 part. You see, and that's it. The back part of the ear is here, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. You know, get the idea. It's like a clown, man. That's like a clown, man. How'd you do that? How'd you draw a clown, man? So you can change the angle too. Like I've got this here now. I can have the face on this side or the face on this side. You know, so I have it here, okay, and I can do that literally. So, you know, eyes here. Remember the shape of the nose, or when you're looking up at something or whatever, as well. You know, the ear's going to be here. Goes down a little bit, and then the chin goes up to here to the point here at the bottom. See, this goes up a little bit here, and then where the cheeks are, and then in where the eyes are, adjust it slightly. See. Put the hair in or whatever you want to put in. We're not going to see much of the top of the head, don't forget, from this angle. The hair could go slightly around the head anyway. See, and it looks weird, I know, funny little cartoon kind of. Oh, we've done the chin a bit wrong, haven't we? Because we've got to see this point, so it's got to come back up here when we're looking at it from below, that is, and it's a really hard angle. I find it so hard to do this angle. I mean, even looking at it now, it's like, I'm never happy with it, sort of thing. So I'm trying to master this angle. It's really hard to draw from this angle. Chin goes in like that. A bit flat around across here. The neck goes here, see. This guy's in his t-shirt and he's walking down the street or whatever. You know, they have a long neck, I must say there, but you get the idea. You know, and that's exactly what we're going to do now, really quickly, because I'm wasting a bit of time here. So, excuse me. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to show you how we can make some better sheets. Like, this is a really good thing to work with. But I'm going to go into, move this out of the way. I'm going to go to Blender, which we're in Blender now. I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up something. So, when you start up Blender in a new basic project, you're going to have the camera and the light. So you delete those, delete the camera, delete the light. I'm not going to go through all the basic controls and certain things in Blender, but turn on the snapping here, okay? Click on that snapping, and then that's the best way to do this, I think. It is the best way to do it. So you must do that. Turn on snapping, okay? For what we're doing now, just for what we're doing now, I'm saying do this. On the move tool, click the move tool and drag it up. Now it snaps to the actual grid. You see how it snaps like that into place? Whereas if we had this off, we can just move it as we wish to, but it's not accurate. So we want to have it accurate, especially for what we're going to do. We're going to basically make that thing in 3D and take an image of it from various angles, and then save that as an image or sheet with lots of different angles. We can use that to draw over too for practice. And I find it's really weird, because the Loomis method with that sphere is probably better in some ways, but it's like, I think this is good as well. It works. And then even simple other ways too. And then making your own shapes too, don't forget, or shapes from this even you could even do. I think it's kind of hard to make the Loomis head in 3D, the shape, but Right, this is good. So let's have a look. Okay, so we're going to drag this in. Well, it's already on there, right? Okay, good. Right. I think the best way to do this now is I could just do, basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to make duplicates. So I have the object selected, select the object, then hold shift and press D to duplicate. Then press, you just left click and then drag it up into place, or you can just directly press Z right now if you know the axis. So it goes halfway and then you go up again like that. Okay, and I think the reason for that is literally because the axis is, it literally was set to the center. So if I go back, if I undo that and just have one, we've got one object here. Okay, you can see how that 3D cursor is at the bottom there, the little dot, but the axis is in the middle. If I want to bring that down to there, so I'm going to right click on my object this time. I'm going to go to set origin, then go to origin to 3D cursor. It brings it down. Now let's give it a try. I don't know if it will snap or not. It might still be snapping to a grid type thing. Like you see how we've got the grid on the ground and everything here. Well, if I go to my toggles here, on the right here, if you see by my here, you can see there you've got the different angles for the camera as well. And when you zoom in, you can see the grid from other angles too. And I don't know if it's trying to snap in some way to that or not. But let's just move back to normal. I'll just take you through the controls again very quickly then. To undo is hold control and press Z, by the way, if you want to do that, or you can go to edit undo. To move the camera around, you basically just press the middle mouse button, the mouse wheel, just press it in like a button, click and hold, and then just move your mouse and it will move like that around an area, an angle. If you want to zoom in and zoom out though, you just gently just roll the mouse wheel in and out to zoom in and out without pressing it. If you want to pan the camera, meaning just stay focused in one angle without turning, but just move a little bit like strafing in games, hold down shift and then press the middle mouse button in again, the wheel, but like a button, and then move your mouse with those two held down. If you want to do zooming in and out, but without just scrolling, just another way of zooming, you can do the same thing we just did, but instead use Alt. So rather than holding Shift down, which is for the panning, we're going to hold down Alt, and again press the middle mouse button in like a button, and then move. And you'll see when you move the mouse button up and down, it kind of zooms in and out. It's like a field of view kind of thing, right? There's other things I want to say, and it's not related to this as such. I wouldn't say, I'm not using this as an example, but there's also, don't forget, depth of field in visual effects like DOF, and then you've got field of view, which is FOV. And it might sound like I'm dumb saying that, but some people probably get confused with those two. You might say DOF, depth of field, is when you got like the blurriness in 3D usually, like things closer to you are more blurry, or further away are more blurry and or clearer, sharper, you know. And then field of view is just how much you can see within the range. So like I could be close, I could zoom up to this object here, zooming in with my mouse wheel, zooming in, but I might still want to control the depth of field. So basically, I'll give you an example, is like holding down Alt, pressing the middle mouse button in like a button, and I can still zoom in and out like a different way. See, it's like a second kind of control for the zooming. It's like zooming to different ranges within zooming to different ranges, like ranges of view, field. That's what it is, a field of view, what the field of your vision within a zoomed in distance. But yeah, anyway, those are the basic controls. Okay, remember, go back and check everything I just said. Not too sure. So left clicking on an object will select it. You can click away elsewhere, click somewhere else to deselect it. Right click on an object, well, it's better to make sure you left click first to make sure it's selected and highlighted, then right click, and then you can go to different settings, different options for it. Okay, so in this case we're going to duplicate it. So I'm going to hold down Shift and press D, then I'm going to press Z just to move it up. Just press that and then move your mouse, and you can see there's no difference. So I changed the axis earlier, didn't I? And it didn't do anything. So it's no different. You don't have to move the axis. Alright, just move it up twice is the point is. So we just basically, all we did is we clicked on one object, and then you hold down Shift, press Z, and Z, and then move it up twice, so it's like that. Now don't forget, when you've got multiple objects selected, okay, you can also drag the object, don't forget, too, using the move tool. You don't have to do it that way. If you want to do it that way though, the best way is to click the object, hold shift and press D to duplicate, then don't move your mouse, just click down, just click the button, and then from there you can then click on it and move it. Remember, the reason it's snapping into place is because we've got this snapping magnet thing selected at the top. If you didn't have that highlighted, okay, then it would basically be able to just move freely, but it wouldn't be accurate, and we want it to be accurate in this situation. Now let's select multiple objects. It's the same to deselect them as well, okay. If I select multiple objects, the way to do it, I want to do is hold down shift and then click on the other objects, and you'll see they're all highlighted, okay. If I want to join them and make them into one object, I can hold down Control on the keyboard and press J, and you can see now that's one object, but we can't see the individual cube cut off points. It's just like one rectangle, right? That's because we're in solid view mode. Up here on the right, just above our camera directions thing up here, you can see we have like the different views. There's 4 different main views, and we also have an X-ray view here, the X-ray one you can turn off and on. But let's go into wireframe mode. Sometimes you might want to have this view, and then turn off X-ray, and you go to here, and that gives you a nice. That's exactly what we want, okay. So we want to go make sure we've got wireframe mode selected, the one on the furthest to the left, you know, of these 4, okay, and then click on the as I say, make sure that the X-ray one is not highlighted. So we don't want solid, we don't want material preview, and we don't want render. We don't want to see any materials or anything, we just want to see this, right? Now I didn't have to join my objects, by the way. I could have just left them as separate objects, but we do want to have this as a thing. So you know, you can manipulate multiple objects too. Let me just show you. So with this selected now, I'm going to hold down shift and press D to duplicate. Left click in place, then I'm going to use the toggles here. Green's the Y axis, X is the red axis, and Z or Z is the blue axis. Drag that across twice, so it snaps. Now we've got this, and you can kind of guess where we're going with this, right? They're perfect cubes as well. I can select 2 objects. Like I can hold down shift and then click the other one to select both. Now from here, if I wanted to join them, I could do it like I just showed you. It doesn't matter how many objects there are. I can hold down Control and press J, and that would join them into make them one object. But I'm just going to show you the same thing here. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to join them in a moment. So with these all select, let's say I accidentally selected an object and I don't want to have it selected. I don't want to change it or anything, or move it or anything. I just hold down shift and then click on the object again, and it deselects it, okay, just so you know. I'm just going to select it again, okay, and then I'm going to hold down shift and press D to duplicate. What that's done is it's duplicated all of the things that were selected. Now I'm going to left click in place, and now I'm going to just drag it out, and it's dragging that out, and here we go, we've got our Loomis head basically. Now I can hold down shift and multiple, like click on each object, or I can use my this select tool up here. If it's set to the box, you can left click, as I say, and hold, and it will show you different kinds of selected methods. But keep the box, select box chosen, and just left click and drag, make a box, and then go, and it will select all of them. Sometimes if there's objects behind another object, it will not select those objects because you can't see them, and they're out of the range as such for selection. And it's the same when you go into edit mode. We're currently in object mode up here, object mode. Most of the time you'll be using object mode and edit mode. Edit mode is to change shapes further, a lot of cutting and changing stuff up, in manipulating sizes and turning all kinds of stuff. In edit mode is in 3D, but we're not doing that, we're not bothering with that today. But I just wanted to tell you that it's the same with those things. So when you go into edit mode, you'll see all of the things on the left, all these toggles come up. You've got a lot of different stuff to work with, plus you also have more to work with, like here, points. If you look at my mouse here, points, edges and faces. So you got like the points, you know, the edges what make up the shape, and then also you got the faces. So I'm just saying you might have certain faces you want to select, and you might want to do the same thing, like drag a box and it selects them, but it's on the other side and you can't get to it. In this case we're not even on the right object. If you want to go into edit mode and edit faces more, edit an object, you must first select the object you want to edit in edit mode. In object mode you must select the object, or select multiple objects like I showed you, and then you can edit that object further if you then go to edit mode while it's highlighted, or while the object or multiple objects are highlighted in object mode. But if anything's like I'm saying, an object or part of an object, faces or whatever, are obscured by an object or part of the same object even, or another object or objects in object mode or edit mode, sometimes you can't get to them. So the way around that is, by the way, we're working just in object mode for this, okay, for what I'm showing you here. We don't need to go to edit mode, by the way, in this for this thing. We just stay in object mode, make these cubes as I've said, and put it into place. But what I'm saying is you can turn the X-ray mode on for a second. Turn X-ray mode on. In object mode, when you select an object, it just selects the whole thing. But yeah, when you're in X-ray mode and you drag select, it will select everything, or select what's behind as well. So just to be sure, you know, it's better to have X-ray mode turned on. But once you've got them selected, you can turn X-ray mode back off again. If you accidentally click away, or you want to click away, just click away elsewhere to deselect everything. We've also got selections and stuff up here for object, okay, what you can do certain things. Yeah. But yeah, you can move the tool, move things, like when you've got an object select, you can move it around, you can rotate it, you know, things like turn them around and stuff, scale objects obviously and things, you know. Doesn't seem to have snapping for the scale there, but okay. But you can turn off snapping when you don't want to use snapping, obviously. I'm just using snapping for this. Most of the time I don't use snapping even, but it's still handy for different things, you know. If you can't see what you're selecting, or you can't see any toggles like this, like the axis and stuff, that may be because you've got things turned off, and you may want to turn them off for certain things anyway now and again. Up here, can you see these two? Look at my mouse here. You have this and this. One is called the gizmo. When you turn it off, you can't see the gizmo here. See, when you turn it back on, when you turn it back on, it shows the gizmo. But if the other one is for the actual grid, the overlays basically. If I turn that off, bang, it turns it off, and some of the highlighting too. So you got gizmo and that. So when I'm clicking, if I'm clicking my mouse and I can't see where the axis is or whatever, just check these two up here, okay? Make sure 1, 2. I usually turn them both off or both on, usually when I'm using it. They work together sort of thing, I feel. Anyway, let's just have the X-ray mode turned off and just highlight, drag, and see if I can select all of them. Oh, I was able to. Good. But sometimes you're not able to, as I say. I think it may be because we're on wireframe mode still. I'm not 100% sure though. But, okay, because they're still kind of obscured. But okay, so they're selected all together. Now I'm going to hold down Control and press J. Sometimes you hold Shift, sometimes you hold Control, see, for different things, or even Alt, or a combination of them. But I'm holding down Alt and J for this to join them. That is one object now. Providing you can see those things there, those shapes. So I'm going to pull it back into place. Ah, good, the snapping's working good too. I'm going to just move it so it literally snaps there. And I'm going to right click and go Set Origin to 3D Cursor. We didn't move the 3D cursor either. So it's right there, see, right there where it is. It's a good point for it. Yeah. So now for what we're going to do now, I'm going to actually turn off the gizmos and the overlays, these two up here, don't forget. So let's do it, okay? 1, 2, and also I'm going to turn off my snapping now. So now you can just see this nice and clearly, and I'm moving the camera around there. If I want to get nice good camera angles, I can, I'll have to turn on the gizmos for a second, yeah. So to get the angles, you might want to have that on, because you want to turn the camera angle and I don't know the shortcuts for this either, but you know, that's to get a nice straight angle there, bit. See. We turn off my gizmo just so I get rid of that for a second. Click away to make it black. I'm going to open up another screen recorder because I've got this one recording this video at the moment, haven't I? So I'm going to go to Bandicam, open up Bandicam. So I'm using Bandicam to get the screenshot. I've some nice tea here too, and I'm using flashback recorder to do this video. So I have to use two softwares to let you be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just get some screenshots basically of various angles. When you do screenshots in this Bandicam demo version, the good thing is it doesn't seem to have the logos problem, where it gives you a watermark, you know. But in the videos it does at the top of the screen. It doesn't obscure things too much though, and there is a limit, as I say, in that to what you can record. Bandicam, I'm saying, to just under 10 minutes. It says 10 minutes, but just under 10 minutes, I find. But in flashback, it's like unlimited. Plus, you can see my webcam here, and like you can move it all around the place the whole time, size it and stuff. And it's no watermark either. You know, it's just great, and there's no time limit, as I say. It's just great flashbacks. But I'm just using this quickly here. Let's see. So I'm going to go take a photo of that. Boom. Take a screenshot. Click on the object. Click on the object, and now I'm going to press. You've got these toggles here, like to move, to rotate, and to scale. You've got this multiple one here too, which can do all of that. Or you can remember some shortcuts. I know a couple of shortcuts, not too many. R is to rotate, S is to scale, and to move it you need to grab an object, so you press G, and then what you can do from there is, once you've pressed it, so you select your object first, left click it, then press, you know, any of those. Okay, S to scale, G to grab because you want to move it, R to rotate. But what you do is you press an axis next if you want to, so you can press, knowing the axis in your mind, Y is green, red is X, and Z or Z is the up and down, the Z axis. If you can imagine, there's like something stuck from the top of this, like a pole stuck from the top of this thing you're looking at on the screen here to the bottom, straight through the center. It's like turning on a swivel, right? So like a neck of this thing, say it's a head, right? So we can imagine that's the Z axis. So we're going to have this object selected here, and I'm going to press R, and then I'm going to press Z, and you can see what's happened. It's going to rotate on that. So when I move my mouse, it's locked to that. But there's a problem. It's giving this strange looking way it's looking, right? It doesn't look right because the perspective's wrong. It's just giving an absolute flat view of all the sides. So that's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is just to have a normal view, see, like this. So when I go back to my camera, what we had, let's say, yeah, I need to undo that. Hold Control and press Z to undo it. Okay, from here, the best way to do it is just, if I select this object now and then use the rotate tool, it's the same thing. You're not going to get it, right? So what you need to do is turn the camera, right? Turn the not. I don't mean to have a camera in the scene and have it. I'm saying just what we're looking at, the 3D viewport camera. Press your middle mouse button in, click it in like a button, and then move your mouse just to turn to another angle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bunch of angles. So this is a head. We're imagining it's looking left and right, basically. I'm going to get a bunch of angles for reference, just because I want to get them for reference for myself, because I'm making a big sheet that I'm going to be using more. So I'm getting all these different angles, taking photos each time, see? And remember to pan, hold shift while you're doing that. Just get it into place. Take a screenshot. Then side, obviously side angle, I mean it's going to be the same as what we had like that, you see, so you don't have to do that. But let's imagine, right, so he's looking forward, okay. Let's imagine I'm going to look up and down now, okay, up and down. So slightly a little bit, so slightly up. You can zoom in and out if you wish to. We can just size them in the art software later on. So there, okay. Get a few angles in between, getting as many angles as possible this time, because I'm going to keep this as reference. As I say, there. I probably don't need any more than 2. 1 should be enough, but like 2 sometimes. Up a bit more. Maybe you might want up more. Like, think about it. Like, if you've got a character you're looking straight up at, like from below. Okay, I was going to go with 3 angles of that. Fair enough. I could do 4. Shall I do that? I don't know, man. Trying to get the best angle. We've got some angles there anyway. Next one is we're going to go down. Okay, so next one's going to be down, slightly down. So slightly down first. I'm not going to get it perfect, but this is just a cube anyway. You remember, just get the basic angles. You know, if I want to have my grid on so I can like really match it up, it's like, oh no, okay, whatever. Turn it off. Let's take a photo of that. A few of them, different angles. Then we've got to do the diagonal ones as well in a moment. Go there. Quite a lot there. If I was to draw a character's head from all these different angles, it's going to be crazy. You know, it's going to be so many, you know. The top of the head, obviously, this is getting so many here, it's getting crazy now, I know, but I'm going to get them all for reference and then draw what I want for different angles, you know. From the top of the head, that'll be that. You're never going to see the total bottom of the neck under the neck, are you? Looking up, you won't see that, but this is the top of the head maybe. Now, we're not finished yet. We also have to get angles of him looking, well, I say him, like that. And I think for this we're going to be doing something different. So for this, we'll have it like that first of all, okay? Probably like that. Click on the object, and then we don't have to change global up here. At the top we've got global manipulation of the object, transforming, which is moving. And you've also got local, which will move just in the direction of how that object's faced, basically based on its axis. But from the global perspective, it's the whole scene in accordance with the whole scene direction. You can change that from global to local sometimes. Okay, local is basically for that object's direction. But I think in this situation, the object is literally in line with the world axis, the global axis anyway. So let's just go here. Okay, we've got an angle of this already, don't forget. Take another one while we're here. I'm going to drag this down. Yeah, and you see that kind of works. Kind of. Seems a bit tilted to me, but you can kind of fix it, you know. And just use that rotation tool to take a photo. Click away so it doesn't show that again. Bang. Then click back on the object. Move it a bit further down. You can zoom out a little bit if you really want to. Doesn't matter because we can size stuff when we're animating anyway. I always make sure there's a lot of white space around here, a lot of space, because when I'm drawing I'm going to make sure there's more space to draw the hair and everything, you know. But when you're in your art software you can arrange that canvas a bit better anyway. Take these images. I can move the camera, but for this case I'm just moving the object because I think it's going to be a bit more better. You can do that so you can like rotate it freely as well. And just getting a few angles here that I want to get. Okay, there. Just taking a few, you get the idea. I'm moving the camera as well here, cheating a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We're just trying to get these images that we want to get. So here now, you know, I've already tilted it to a strange degree already, you know. I'm going back down by the way now. I'm going to get on another angle slightly. Okay, so that will be like, it's probably a bit too much anyway, but let's just go with that. Hold on, it's a bit of work, but you know, it's worth it in the end. You can see how the axis is a bit weird, isn't it? Let's try local, sorry. Yeah, local seems to work. Yeah, I should have left it on local. Okay, local to where we are now. Yeah, that's what I should have done. Yeah, local. See, it works with that. Okay. Should have set it to local, guys. Okay. No. Don't worry that I'm moving it around and stuff, because in the real, when I'm doing the real animation and stuff, it'll be like, you know, I'll be literally just manipulating it around anyway and sizing it and stuff. I think that's basically enough there. I think what we've got there is really enough, but some of these were pretty small as well, wasn't they? Getting a few duplicates here, I know. We've still got to get the up angle as well, so from some of these. So here, well, we'll just get a couple of those. A bit more close to the centre. Got loads here, so many. And I'll have to arrange all these as well, won't I? So, you know, it's kind of crazy. I don't know why I've done it so fussy, really. I've done it a bit fussy today, I must say. So, boom. Oh, hang on, that's wrong. It should be like a bit more like that, right? Making me think now. So I'm just literally moving it into place, and that will be really, really handy to take these images. I think I'm re-going over some of the angles here. I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, whatever. So let's just see. Okay, so you got that. Kind of forgotten what I've taken now. Damn it. You can get really confused sometimes with all this stuff. You can imagine. I think that'll be it. That's enough. That's enough. If I turn off Blender, bang, it's gone now. Turn off Bandicam. Open up the folder where they're all saved to, and you can see I've got loads there. Yeah, you can see some examples too of some 3D objects I made, like for buildings and stuff here too. Like I could draw over and stuff like that. Shapes. You can just make some simple shapes like that, you see, and then just draw over them. You know, just make your own designs. See, for comics or cartoons. Draw on top of them. You see that one there I used for one of my drawings, if you remember. Yep. Okay, so that's that. Now let's go back to the images. So what you do is literally you would let's think about this. What I basically got to do is I've got to bring these all into an art software, you know, an art software, and just bring them all in and make a sheet out of that one image of all of them on, and make it like really big, you know, so I can draw the head. But in saying that, I don't have to. I can just literally bring one in each time, you know. So let's look at these first ones. Let's just arrange these first into an organised manner. Don't forget we have like left and right, but I'll be flipping them on the left and the right as well, you know, flipping. So you see how I've only got the left side. When the head turns the other side to the right or whatever, I'll be copying, flipping it in the art software. I didn't have to do it on both sides, you know, is what I'm trying to say. I think for this, in this case, I don't really have to. I was thinking to bring in like let me see, hold on. See, what I really should be doing is still bringing them in. Yeah, I should bring them in. If I go into Krita really quickly, just trying to think now. Yeah, what I need to do is go into Krita. I could do this in Firealpaca, but I use Krita mainly for animation and stuff anyway. Let's go to Krita though. Oh, Krita's already open, man. Krita's already open. So what I do is I go to File. I do all my animation in Krita, as I say, most of the time. I'm going to open one of my files, a basic file here. I don't know how big those images are, but they're not too big, I know that. But they're more or less the same size. but I want to like make sure that they're all like one separate image really. Otherwise I'm going to need to cut them all out as separate images later on anyway. You're going to give yourself as least work as possible. I'm going to delete what I've got. I'm going to go into go to File, Import Animation Frames. And this is not an animation we're doing, but this is the best way that I can get all these images. I'm going to bring all the images into here, and then whenever I want to save that character's head, I'll draw the head for a character, let's say, and I'll copy and paste it on top of the bodies and just draw the bodies in for the different moves. But the thing is, like, it saves me having to draw the head every time for different shows I'm doing in cartoons. But the thing is, like, or comics, but the thing is, I can draw that character's head from all them different angles. Once they're done, they're done. Then export it, not as a video, but as an image sequence. That is one way you can export everything with all the layers, about everything. I could have put them in layers, but I'm putting them in as frames. It would export all of these. I just export them into one folder for that character, bodies and heads or whatever, you know. But there's like folders for the heads, and I'll bring the heads in each time, or the ones I want to use, you know. So that's just what we're going to do. So add images. Okay, so let's do that again. We're in Krita. Okay, File. It's better to have a canvas size which is bigger than the images you're importing, otherwise you've got to resize them anyway. We're going to go to Import Animation Frames, add images, locate them, find them, bring them to me. Go to there. Where are we? Yeah, where are we? Where are we? It's a good question. Where the heck are we? We find it. We find these images again. That is the right one as well. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into a folder or something first. I think it's because they're not named properly, so I'm going to drag all of the files into a new folder, all of those images into a new folder. Okay, should work anyway. I don't need to rename that for now. Select them all, right click on the first one, go to M, so rename, and just give it a name. I'm going to put anything, I'll put a letter or something. Click away somewhere, and it just numbers all. It gives them all a number. Now that should work. I don't know, because it's seeing them as frames now, even though we're not doing animation, but we're bringing them in like as if they were animation. Press File, Import Animation Frames, add images. Where is it? Should be in here, and it's not. Okay, go to. That's really strange, man. It's really strange. Why is that not working? I really don't understand. Maybe it's because I've got it like as a Chinese thing. So why is that not working, man? Okay, let me just change the name of that folder. Face blocks, all angles. Just giving a name to that folder. I'm going to cut that folder. I'm going to put it somewhere else. Basically, I'm going to put it somewhere else on my computer, just so I know what's what. So I'm going to go into my folders and move it somewhere else. Okay. Let's see. Rotoscope footage, man. I'll bring that here. Okay, to this one. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to go again. I've moved it to another. All I've done is I've moved them to another location on my computer. Is what I've done. So going into Import Animation Frames from File, Import Animation Frames, add images. I'm going to locate them now. They should be. Where are they? Yeah, they're right here. Okay, so they're just showing up in a different place on my computer. Don't worry. Okay. You can see. I'll show you in a moment. So I'm double clicking that. Open it, select all of them. You can see how they're all numbered as well. Press, I'm going to open them and then go OK. Wait, you have to wait for that bar to load up at the bottom there. Shouldn't take too long because they're kind of small images. Wait a bit longer even after it disappears, and you'll see we've got all the images there. And you see most of them as we scroll through that. I can even press arrows on the timeline. You can see that you know, it's see how it was. You can see how that's how it would turn if it was you know, an animation with the heads. Great in that way. 36, quite a lot of them there, but some of them are like duplicates, as I say. I probably don't have to draw them on every angle anyway, but it's better to keep them all here as one in one file, so I don't have to bring them in every single time. You know what I mean? So that's that. Hold on 1 second. I know I've just lost my webcam is right here. Webcam's right here, man. If I click away, okay, good, still on. But yeah, so what we're going to basically do is we're going to basically just drag them. You can see it's on one layer. I can get rid of the back layer. I don't even have to keep the back layer. This is one layer, but it's got multiple animation frames. I can even press play there and show you how the thing plays. I can show you the speed of it, you know, it loops or whatever. If I right click on the last frame and go to set end time, it just plays through that. I can also slow down the speed or speed it up to see. This is not an animation. I'm just saying that we're seeing that you would be able to do an animation, do the head, drawing it from different angles and stuff, you know. And that's what we want to have, really, at the end of the day. Face expressions and everything. So we're going to go back to here. Now, because they're all the same size, which I'm really happy about, because I forgot, because I know I zoomed in and stuff, but yeah, I had the actual recording, the screen thing set to the same size the whole time, didn't I, for the screenshots. But I'm going to go to image, which is handy for this. Image, okay, go to, no, select, go to select, okay, select, and then go to select opaque, okay, select opaque, and then select opaque replace, and it will select the whole thing. Ignore the fact that it's created another selection layer above that. We'll delete that in a moment, but you can see how it's got the dotted lines around it, the marching ants or whatever. It's selected. Now we're going to go to image, okay, then trim to selection, and watch what happens. Bang, it gets rid of all that outside part. Okay, I'm holding the middle mouse button in like a button to pan. It works very similar to Blender, actually. It's strange, Krita, but it doesn't work like this way in Firealpaca, but they're both great, you know. So we've got this here. Now I can look at I can deselect, go to select and then go to deselect. Oh, we can see how it's got rid of that layer for us. We didn't have to delete the one above it. So this one. So you know, we can have this and go to I can then check the size, so I can go to image and scale image to new size. We want to do that anyway, whether we do or not. It's a good way to check what we got. So go there and you see how small it is. It's set to that 400 and whatever pixels it was, because that's just the way the screen capture works and stuff, and the way it was set into Windows selection and stuff anyway, in adjustable selection in Bandicam I just used. Make sure you got it linked, okay. This thing here, you got it disconnected or connected. Make sure it's connected. Go to this one, and I like to have like a couple of thousand for the width, and it will arrange the height automatically the kind of good way. They're both linked, so I press 2, just add a 2 in front of that and it makes it bigger. If you want to add a 3 to be safe, you can do. But bear in mind, as I said, the bigger the images are, when you're going to have to bring them in each time and resize them anyway in your animations. So we'll set it to 2000 anyway, which is still massive. Then set it to OK. And we don't want to be doing this whole process again every time. If you look on the bar here at the top and at the bottom, scale image, it's going through every image in this whole thing. When you're drawing multiple faces, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be drawing on top of this whole thing, and you might sometimes encounter crashes. Hopefully you won't, or any problems. Zoom out quickly. It's a much bigger file image size now. So the image size, the size of this whole thing, this whole one layer, don't forget it is the same for every frame on this thing, and that's a good size we can work with, because when we're drawing with our pens and pencils in the computer, when you're drawing with the pen, you want to make sure that you're not drawing with crappy looking shit. If it's like a small damn image, then you're going to be using ugly like looking lines or the you know, the pixels. So that's why we're making it bigger, make the quality better. And you can shrink it down later as long as the images are saved out. When you save the images out, better to export them as PNG to get the good quality, plus the transparent background and the good quality. That's why you want PNG, because if you save as JPEG, as they currently are brought into this as, then JPEG's just going to be worse quality if you start sizing them, stretching and shrinking, because we want to be moving them in animation, right? You're going to mess them up, and you're not going to get that transparent background, so you need to save them as PNG to get those two qualities. Okay, so that's done. We're not finished with this file. We're going to save this as a Krita file, but not yet. What we need to do, you know, is like this, my friend. What we need to, is we need to well, there's a couple of things we need to do actually, and I'm not even sure about this now. Let me show you first of all. First of all, we need to make another layer above this. I was gonna say, okay, and I'll show you. I'll just add another layer here, and I'll just change the color to first of all, I'm not even happy with this, so let's delete that with this here. I want to turn down the you don't have to do that. You haven't got to do that. I was gonna you do need to do that. You do need to do that, because we're working with many frames. You don't want to adjust each one. No way. Okay, so add another frame, add another layer, add another layer on top. I wouldn't choose white. It's so bright and glowing in your face and your eyes all the time. Choose a very light pale grey. Choose the paint bucket tool from down here, the paint bucket tool, and then click anywhere and it should cover the whole thing. If that's not happening, then go to your tool options, and I've got fast mode selected, and that seems to work better. Otherwise you're going to have to play with the threshold and different things. Threshold. Then what we're going to do is we're going to turn down the opacity of this layer slightly, so you can see through it. You see, I can see the grid. You see what I'm saying? And that works pretty well. Now, you might want to zoom in a lot when you're drawing, or you might want to zoom it zoomed out further. It depends. You might want to do another one layer with a rough sketch, and then another layer of a proper piece of art on top. It's going to be a lot of work for each frame. Now this is one layer above your, even on the timeline you can see it, it's one layer above, and it's got no keyframes in it, meaning animation frames. It's just going to show up like this throughout the whole thing. What we're going to do is we're going to add another layer above this layer now, okay, and we want to add the same amount of frames for every as we have here for these images, because we want to have the real drawings on top of those images, right? So we've got 36 or whatever it is, 36, 37 frames of these block images here, squares, and we want to cuboids, and we want to have the same drawings on top. But what I'm going to do is I'm looking at this image and I'm thinking to myself, we got it as a good size, but the problem is that, you know, the problem really is that the size may still not be enough. The space around this square may not be enough. I just turned off the visibility off and on here if I'm up here, but the space around there, because you might want to have like really spiky hair or like some hat or helmet or something like that. So still, it's just the way we've taken these images. We didn't give her enough space really. So I'm thinking what we really need to do is delete that layer, the grey layer, and we want to resize it to an even larger size, but we don't want to go image by image, obviously, or we don't want to stretch out this image anymore. We want to just give more space around the image, right? So that's what we already had in the beginning, kind of thing, but we don't want to have the images that small, so the quality is worse, you know what I mean? So what we're going to do is we're going to I don't even know how this is going to work now. I don't even know how it's going to work now. Let's try. I'm going to add another layer. Can I add another layer? Okay. Before we add another layer, let's just go to Image and go to Resize Canvas. Not scale image to new size. We've already done that, but now we're going to go resize canvas, click on that, and we're going to size that so that it's bigger than what we've got here. We're going to change the 2, so like 3 or 4. I'm really thinking about changing it to 4, but I'll change it to 3 first. That was wrong because we didn't set it to link. Hold on, we've got to link it up. Make sure they're linked. Okay, didn't look too good, did it? Let's try 4. That's better. That's much better. That's much better. That's amazing. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to add another. I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to clear. Let me think about this. I'm going to click. I'm going to make it white. Bring that below, then click on the top layer, right click on the top layer and go to merge with layer below, so it's 1. We shouldn't lose those frames. We've still got the frames. Good, we've still got the frames. Oh, that's great. That is great. Okay, we've still got the frames. Now to make it make more sense to us, so that is already enough. We don't really need to move any further than that. Anyway, let's press play. Should take a while to load up through them, but we'll press play. It'll be slow first time, then it will speed up. I'll speed that up, hold on. Damn. Okay. I say when we save the real image, when we save the real ones, we're going to basically before you export, you'll probably like shrink it down. You know, that's what I'm thinking. But you might lose that size wise, I'm saying, the whole image. But the thing is, like, you may lose quality, so you might want to export them first as PNGs and then re-import them, make this whole sequence again, and then resize it and then re-export them out and save over that, but a smaller size. Because if you start stretching JPEGs, they mess up their image quality. So you might want to put it in, save them as, you know, PNGs. Okay, so let's go on another layer, make another layer above this like we did earlier with that light grey colour set to fast mode under tool options. Okay. Okay, right here. Click, clickety click. Okay, there. And then, you know, turn down the layer opacity so you can see through. I still think it's like way too dark. Okay, that's okay. Like this. Something like that, right? And that covers the whole thing. So you got one layer like this. Okay. If you don't want to do all this whole resizing for the second time to get that space, remember, just take the image to get the right amount of space the best way you can. We don't need super quality lines for these squares, just to see what you're doing. You know, it's a guide. Okay, so when we click along the timeline, you'll see that, and this image is covering the whole thing because there's no there's no keyframes for this top one here. With the opacity slowly set down so we can see through. Don't forget, we're going to add another layer on top of this now. Yes, another layer on top of this. Okay, and we're going to right click on the first frame here and go to keyframes. Insert multiple keyframes, set the frame timing to 1. That's very important, otherwise it will add frames every other whatever you've set it to. So we'll set it to 1, so it's just in order, and we're going to set it to whatever that number is. I think it's 37, right? We're going to add 36 because we've already got one there. Up it to 36, go to OK. Good. And then we've got blank frames all the way along that. At this point it would be a good idea sometimes to duplicate this layer, and it will duplicate the amount of frames you've got too, because you might want to have a base, one layer for rough sketches and one layer for the faces, the other good, the proper drawn, I'm saying ones. But the thing is, you want to remember that we're working with some pretty big size here, and not only that, you know, it might crash. So as you're going along, you might want to quickly go to file save every few minutes. Okay, not save as, obviously. Once you do save as the first time you save it as whatever the project is. But this is a good base setup that what you've got here to do faces for any characters, and you can always come back to this, open it as it is, and just draw new character faces. You know, so it's for any cartoons you're doing or anime. But what I'm saying is, another reason you might want to have duplicates of this blank, this layer with loads of blank keyframes, is you might want to like do the head and then maybe do the hair on top and have the hair blowing in the wind, or different face expressions and stuff. So you don't want to draw the whole head every time. You might have the head, the hair, on different layers, you know, a hat, or the eyes, the moving, the face expressions, things like that too. You might want to do that with the head in one angle, one direction. You might want to work on, let's say, one frame, you know. And if you do want to do that, then it's quite easy. On the timeline, you can literally, on any frame, on any layer, make sure you've got the layer clicked. You can literally, you know, right click and set the times at the start and the end time. And you can also right click and go to hold frames, and it holds. You can insert multiple hold frames and then set the end time. So if I wanted to like have, if I want to have this one angle, let's say for example I like this face, this angle here, I'll make another video about this, okay? If I wanted this face angle here, or this one, I might want to draw the hair on top, animate the hair blowing in the wind or something, or his face expression or something changing. So I could do that on another layer, just above that layer on top, with the frames playing, but it won't move to different faces on the bottom layer, because we'll set how long we'll set that. We click on that face angle we want and go to hold frames, insert multiple hold frames, and set the start time and the end time. So it just loops through. That could be a looping thing, you know. There you go, you know, export it, or those, whatever you're going to do, record the screen or whatever you're going to do, and get that, you know. And that's how you work with that, and I think that's great, you know. All these different features here for animation. I'll cover these again when I can. We've got hold frames, you can copy things. You've got the ghost, what do you call it, the onion skins thing here to see previous or future frames. You've got options for those too. You've got you know, the visibility for each layer. You can move layers about too. So what I've currently got here is I've got a bottom layer which has all these different images set, okay, all these different images at the bottom here, just set as frames, just because I wanted to bring them all in and work with them within one project. That's why I did it. I'm not putting them in the timeline to make any sense as such for the animation. But then I've got another layer on top of that, as you know, with no keyframes, and that's this grey one, like a piece of tracing paper basically, set to a slightly transparent opacity so we can see through it. Then I've got two layers which are exactly the same, but they're completely blank, and I just added that amount of keyframes. Remember, you can right click on keyframes and find the options and stuff you need, and I just copy, you know, I made that. Okay, you can also copy keyframes from one to the other and paste them in too, and stuff like that. Just remember what layers you're working on, you know, and if you want a background, or whatever. You know, I've got two copied ones because just as I say, for different reasons you might want to work with different layers. I'm going to save this as a project. I'm going to save that, okay? So let's save it as a cool project, okay? I still don't think it's absolutely ready though, to be honest with you. I think what I really need to do is make a folder. Let me think about it, because I want these to be PNGs, but trying to work it out. No, we'll just have it like this. When we make the actual real heads, we'll be saving them as PNGs anyway. We just bring them in to another project, and we'll have to shrink them down smaller. That's the whole point of it, alright? Yeah, because you'll be exporting them as PNGs anyway from this, drawing on these top layers here, the real heads, you know, whatever. And I'll be like saving all them out. I'll go to File, Export, you know, Render Animation. And when you go to Render Animation, you can choose like Image Sequence, which is already set to, and PNG. You save it where you're going to save it, you see. Or you can save it as video, or both. So, you know, it's good. You know, you can even bring, I think you can bring sound in this as well. stuff. I usually edit my clips together in video softwares. I put the sound in and music and the voiceovers and everything, and make my own cartoons like that. You know, that's what I usually do, and add other effects and stuff in video softwares. But let's just save it before I lose all this shit. Okay, so file, hold on, file, save as Krita, yeah, KRA file. We're going to save it under the where? Save it under the, should be in the Facebook, but not Facebook, sorry, no, Faceblocks, I was going to say, not Facebook, no, not for now. I'm just trying to find where I saved the other stuff. Let me just find out where I saved those. Maybe I should just save it in here. Just save it here, okay. Krita, I'm going to call it character blockheads all set up. That's really cool. And I was thinking about like making them like, you know, PNGs, but I'm gonna make this one just with the JPEGs we got, you know. And that should save them even if we get rid of what we've got, those images. I can delete them and make them again, doesn't matter. Save. It's a massive size, don't forget. I mean, the actual pretty big size screen, like 4,000 something we've got pixels wise, plus we've got multiple layers of that. It's just crazy. But when you're working, as I say, you can literally delete a layer if you don't want to have it, rename them too, plus you can recolor layers. You can double click on a layer from up here, or okay, not over here, but you can double click on a layer from up here, okay, here, double click and then rename it, or you can right click on it once it's selected, left click and then right click and then choose your color. So I can choose colors, you see, choose colors, give it a few colors for now, just so I know what's what. Just so I know what's what, you know, the fun of it. I'm going to hit save while I'm here. File, save. Remember to regularly save if you're afraid you're going to lose anything. And whenever you draw an image, just remember to cut out the outside. So that's already saved. We saved, yeah, it says the name up here, what the file is. So it's character blockheads. Oh, I've got to rename that because I spelled it wrong. All set up. Okay, let's turn it off quickly. What do we have? Face blocks. Hold on one second. Gonna go in here. Right, in here. Rotoscope. What different things I'm doing. I've got to change that name because I kind of spelled it wrong. But the thing is, what I'm saying, like, you don't have to worry. Like, those images are there. If I lose them, it doesn't matter. The images are actually part of that file. Shit, where's my fucking letter, man? Let's do my letter. Speak out, I want to speak all the way. See, right? Okay, good. See? Right, okay, good. So if I delete that, where is that bloody thing? Face blocks all angles. I mean, it's right there. Just say, quite a small image. I'll put it in here anyway. Head and hair refs. Just move it. Let's say I moved it somewhere or whatever. You won't have to relocate, I don't think. Anyway, I just go into the thing. See, what? I'm not even going to need it because I'm just going to be deleting them anyway. Let's just delete that and show you. So if I delete that, bang, boom, delete that. Bam, see? Hold on. Okay, good. Hold on. Move over here. Going in here. Rotoscope. Character blockheads all set up. See, I'm going to be using it a lot in the recent days. So I'm going to go days to come. So I'm going to put a shortcut on the desktop as well for this. So I'm going to go here and go to right click on it. Oh no, right click on it, sorry, go to this one. Set a shortcut on the desktop, close that down. Double click on that and it's going to open up normal. I can always change the size whenever I want. But always remember, when you're saving an image, remember to cut out the background and save it as a PNG when you're going to put things in, because we've like moving heads and stuff around, you know. So, what's going on? Did I lose the whole thing? Kind of. Nah. Let's turn it off. What's going on? It took a while to upload that. What's to open up? It did what I thought we lost it. So I'm reopening it again. Okay, wait for it to load up, to open up. Should be okay. It's just taking a while. That's all it is. I'm not surprised. It's got all those frames and stuff to upload to open, and you know, once you're drawing and adding all the information, I don't know, you might have to change sizes and stuff. But there you go. It loads up. Okay, and you just literally draw your characters on top on your top layers there with a black pen or whatever, you know, and draw it in. You know. Okay, so let's just turn it off. You might want to, like, each time you save, you want to save what you're doing, like a character, whatever it is. Obviously, you might want a copy of this whole thing, make a copy and call it whatever character head it is. If I'm making, let's say for example, Batman for example, not Batman, you're making your own characters. But I'm saying, let's say for example, I wanted to make a Batman one, so I'll make a copy of this setup we've got here and name it Batman heads. You know what I mean? And then I'd draw a couple of heads. Maybe it's in the evening, I would come home in the evening, draw some more heads or whatever, get them. When they're all done, I'd export them. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to change this thing every time, do I? I mean, you might save them on another layer, but that's not the way to work. You want to have a base empty one like this, so it's ready, a project file, so you can use it every time to draw different characters for anything as well, not just characters. Anyway, the idea I was talking about earlier was, I was saying, I'll just use Firealpaca just quickly, just to show you for this. Whether you use any arts, whatever art software you use, it doesn't matter. But remember to save if you can as PNG. So we've got a completely transparent background here, shown by the checkered background here. If I drew a character, let's say I drew a character and his name was Mr. Smiley, and I used a bucket to colour his face yellow or whatever. You know, and I drew a couple of eyes in here with a white, a couple of black pupils, and I did his hair like this. It could be black, it could be blue, who knows, it's up to you, you know. And, you know, whatever you want to do, okay. Do his face, let's say rough face like that, okay. And you might be really happy with it, okay, and everything. You know. Goodness knows why, a big nose maybe here as well, a couple of ears on the side, and you say, well, that's good, you know. And so what you want to do is you want to save it out, because if you didn't save it as a PNG, if you saved this as a JPEG, it would add like a white background or a black background, possibly even show this checkered thing or whatever else it is. If you're saving a background, if you're saving an image, any images I'd say, whether they've got transparency in them or not, or whether you're going to change their size or not, in stretching wise and moving, I'd still save it as a PNG if I was you. It's better, you know, for the quality aspect and all that, yeah. But for a background, I was going to say it wouldn't matter too much, because you're not going to have transparent parts unless it's parts of the background or objects and stuff in the background, foreground, or whatever. But the thing is, with a thing like this, like a head, let's say this is one of the heads, for example. It looks more like an onion, but let's imagine like onion head, dude. Let's just imagine that this is you know, something that I want to have in my scene, and I want to like resize it because there's characters that are drawn with far away with small bodies, or they're close up and I want to put the head on quickly. I don't want to have to draw it 1,000 times. Just copy and paste as the frames go along. But the thing is, you see, I can change the size and stuff. If this is a PNG, saved it. If this was a JPEG right now, I'd have problems. When I stretch it out, it would look worse. The quality would even look much worse than it's already looking. This PNG would stay the same. And we've got this transparent background, meaning whatever's behind it on another layer below, like if I've got like red mountains, let's say, if I've got red mountains, let's say, red mountains here, you know, and the blue sky, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, yeah? We've got the yellow sun up here, and the yellow sun up here, okay? Then I can move this mountain, this head around, see, onion head, and then he's totally fine, it just stays there, you know? But it's like, it shows what's behind it. You know, you don't want to save your image out like this, where it's like got, you know, a background to it, whatever colour the background is, you know, grey or whatever. You don't want to be like this. When you move it around, you're seeing that. You don't want to see it like that, do you? You know, you don't want to see that. you've got to cut out and stuff. So make sure you save your object as a PNG, your image, okay? So you see, we've got a bit of that there, see? Okay. Okay, so that's that. That's what I was going to just say to you, okay? And then what you do is you'd import that every single time to your frames. So let's imagine I get rid of the background here. Okay, select from opacity, edit, crop. Yes, save it there. Onto my desktop, let's say per se, okay? And let's say you had a very good animation with a character, okay? I'm not going to do a real animation. I'm not going to do a good animation. I'm just going to do a rough thing, okay? But let's imagine I'm in Krita. So imagine I open up Krita, okay? It's a really pretty big image. Let's imagine, okay, let's imagine if I just quickly, we're going to finish the video as soon as I say, it's a very long one, this one. But let's imagine I am in here and I start a new project, you know, where I go into my scene like this, open it up, I add some keyframes, add multiple keyframes. Yeah, we'll add a few keyframes. I'll add like, I don't know, just 4 or something, 4 keyframes, just simple. Set to a timing of 1. You know, I'm gonna delete this top layer. I'm gonna go File, Import Animation Frames. And I'm just gonna literally add this one head. Where is it? This as an image. What has it done? Hold on. Yeah, it adds on another layer, you see. And okay, let me just get rid of that first frame there. So let's just imagine we turn off the visibility for this head for a second. You can bring in multiple heads. I'm going to draw multiple beds now. So I'm going to bring in this. I'm going to draw like a rough body. Let's say on the bottom layer here with no head per se. Let's just do a body, okay? This is really rough. I'm just doing like a rough body here, okay? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer as well. I'll turn on my onion skins. Turn on my onion skins so I can see. Hold on, where is it, man? Oh no, transparent back. Oh, okay, we need to get rid of this layer. Sorry, make another layer. It must be a transparent background. I forgot. So let's add in keyframes, multiple keyframes. It must be a transparent background. So I've got 5 frames there, okay. I'll add another layer beneath all of them, like for a background, just really quickly, with no keyframes in. So we've got a bottom layer with no keyframes, just the background, okay, one image. Then we've got the next layer above it with 5 keyframes and a black pen I'm just going to use really quickly, just to do like a body like there. Okay. Turn on my onion skins there, okay. Okay, and you'll see what I'm going to do. He's going to be like there, you know, like I'm going to make it like just doing some kind of movement, you know. Okay, like that. You know, just some crazy dance or something. I'm gonna press play. I'll set the end time. Click on the last frame and right click and go to end. Set end time. Turn down the speed a bit on here. The bottom right. Turn the speed down. This is dancing to music. The music's not even fast today. Then I'm going to turn on my visibility for the top layer. Over here, layers, under layers, got animation here, got layers here. Go to the move tool, or the scale one, this one, and just scale it and move it each time. So I'm bringing it in. Now this is a PNG, so it's going to allow me to do that without distorting the quality, and it's going to give that transparent background which we want. And it's on top of the body. When you move it, it's slightly transparent, but don't worry. When you click away somewhere, or when you click on another, just click somewhere, click on another tool or a keyframe or a layer. Oh, that's what happens. You get this. You remember you need to click OK first. Sorry. that right? Oh no, click on another layer, I think. Yeah, click on another layer over here just quickly for a second. So we're here. Oh, that's cool. I thought I had to copy and paste it. So if I go back here, turn on my onion skins for that so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, excuse me. No, on this layer. Okay, good. So you know, you just adjust it per frame. You know, tilt it a little bit, whatever. Click on another layer there. So when you go to the next layer, it's there. You know, you just move it in accordance with what you got on the right layer, obviously. And then make sure you know everything's okay. Good. So it's pretty cool. Hold on, 1, 2, 3. Just click on the next. It seems to be updating that here. It seems to be adding the frame. Strangely, because I thought I had to like copy it. Usually in the old version I had to copy it. I guess it just adds it for you now in the new version. I'll leave that one there. You know, it's quite interesting though. So if I was to click on another layer here, what's going to happen if I was to do that? If I start to move it, oh, it allows me to do that, or what? There's no keyframe here currently on the 6th frame. If I move that, what's going to happen? It's going to add a frame. It just automatically adds a frame. That's really great. Okay, really good. Let's remove and pull. We don't want to have that. So remember, I right click on my frame and then go to set end frame and it'll play that. Now if I press play, it will just bring that in and he's just dancing. If I press play speed, change the play speed, this motherfucker's going at it. Yeah, say good. Yeah, say good. Yeah, say good. Yeah, what's up, sir? So you saw it here first, bro. But what I'm saying is what else I can do is I can go over here to my plus sign at the bottom right here. I know you want to see him move again. He's fucking. If I go to this arrow here, little arrow beside the plus sign for adding layers, and just go to add group layer, because you've got different kinds of layers. Add group layer. Now, similarly to Blender, hold shift and click on both of those two layers, drag them both up into this layer. You can close down that also to see what you're seeing. What I want to do is I want to duplicate that. I don't know if it's going to work. I want to try and duplicate this layer, bam, which I just did, and then move the layer across. But it's not going to work in this because you have to move it frame by frame. So you have to move each one basically, which we don't want to do. So just delete that layer. What you could do is you could merge these two layers down. That'll make it a bit easier, but we've still got to work with 5 frames here. Imagine if you had 500 frames or more. So if we're going to right click and merge with layer below, so they're one now. Okay, so I can't really move the whole folder layer. I have to move the frames images for each frame along. If I want to move it along, I wanted to make a copy of this guy, so there's 2 of him dancing, or one like further back smaller, or something like further back or something, you know. But what you'd be better off doing is using a software like Moho. I've got Moho here, which is good, so you can use that. Moho is really good for doing that. You can just bring this stuff in and move them all over the place, dancing all over the damn place. You know what I'm saying? What I would need to do is I would need to export this frame animated character as an image sequence again, and then basically bring that into Moho. I might just quickly do that quickly, but let me just show you before we do that. Okay, we've got this. These are inside one folder. We don't need them in a folder. Let's just drag him back out. Delete the folder. Just have this as one layer. Okay, so once you've animated your body, animated your head, put them together, you can then merge the layer down, and it keeps the amount of frames that you've got there. If you've got more or less, you can delete or copy or whatever you want to do the frames. From here, let's just try it. I'm going to duplicate this layer. So we've got a duplicate of the layer. You see what I'm saying? If I use the move tool, I can do that. But when I go to the next frame, it's not there. I need to literally move him over again. You know, and I move each frame. And that's not too hard if you say I'm just dragging it across like this. But if it's a complicated thing, it's going to be harder work. You know. Yeah. When I press play though, you're gonna get some shit popping. You know what I'm saying, bro? Get some shit popping, yeah. But what you could do is you could go into here and add a thing called a filter layer. Hold on, no, filter. Make a group layer, then drag one of these layers into the group layer. Then within this, add a filter layer above that. I'm getting a bit deep now. No, we're going to just play around, and I'm just saying that you can change the like the color adjustment and stuff like that, because it's going to affect what's below it. So see, I can do that, or change it, or whatever, or do different things, you know, or just add whatever we want, like color, color balance and stuff. Just change different things like colors and stuff. Is it going to work? Yeah, I can get a orange, or I go to OK. See, Mr. Orange and Mr. Onion in the fucking house. You got sort of a filter layer above it within the group layer, and press play. I mean, you know, I can do different things, obviously. Like once I'm on this layer, I can adjust those layers. That filter layer is cool because it's just affecting literally what's underneath it, you know. But if I had like another background or something in here, as I say, I would have to, I'd have to literally use like one of the other tools, like the alpha things here, to cut out the outside, or clip it. It's like clipping in Firealpaca. We'll cover more features of this, okay, Krita and Firealpaca, in other videos, okay. But yeah, this is this, and that is that. You can even hold things down, like hold down Control, and then do things like that. You know, and do things like that as well. You're getting that shit on, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, just playing around with this a bit, you know. Here, when I do this, you see that it's getting a strange like look to the thing, because the colours are going back to how they were, because it turns off the filter temporarily. I'm just like playing around with this here. Make sure you're on the right layer always. Some things will remind you, but some things won't as such. Let's bring this down. Just having a bit of fun here, okay? And go back. The onion skins are turned on. Don't forget, here you've got the onion skins, you've got the visibility of the layer, and you've also got the onion skins, which shows the previous and following frames to a certain degree. If I press play now, it turns off the onion skins, as I say. You can export it as a video or as an image sequence, or you can record the screen. You have to wait for them to load through sometimes, especially if they're bigger image sizes or more frames, and then you export them, you know. Yeah, so we're gonna press play, and they're busting it, you know what I'm saying? They busting that shit, you know what I'm saying, cuz? Out of here, dog. So if I want to go here, if I want to just delete the background now, and let's say, you know, I probably could merge all. Can I merge all? Probably can. If I go to image, or layer, merge, about flatten image. I don't know what that does. If it will keep the, yeah, it does keep the frames. Cool. Okay, so it flattened everything, even that onto it, the filter. So I press play. Let's shoot out, man. Just 5 images. Maybe we can save this into a folder somewhere and have a good time. So I'm going to go into I'm going to add a folder just really quickly. I'm not going to keep it. Just adding one here. I'm going to export this to show you. So file, render animation as an image sequence, PNGs to the location we're going to select, which is going to be this folder here I just made. Bang, save it there, go to OK. You should number them automatically for us. It's going to turn off that. I want to just check if I didn't. I hope I didn't lose what I just had. I'm going to delete this onion head original we had there. Onion head original, and I'm going to go into Moho just really quickly and show you what Moho's good for animation. You can move stuff around, and you can bring frame animated stuff in as well. But I'm going to show you quickly, very quickly. I'm going to stop this video because it's like just over 2 hours now. It's a long video, as I say. So when you come in, you might have like an automatic startup file. I'll just get rid of that just quickly and start a new project. Taking a while to load. It's got a preset animation in here, as I say. Preset animations and stuff in here anyway. So if I press play, I'll show you what it's like. See, this is Moho. You know, it's really good. I'm not getting any sound in here, but probably is sound. Okay, so let's turn that off and start a new one. I think I'm not going to start a new one. I'm just going to drag an image in. So let's just drag a quick image in. What do I have? I'll drag one of my arty pictures in, one of my backgrounds that I've drawn, one of my images, one of my scenery ones. Okay, so I'll just bring a one in, or anyone. Bring this in, drag it in. It's quite a big image anyway. So that's in. Okay. Now, file, it should be input. It's been a long time since I've done this, so yeah. This is, as I say, this is a new new layer, it's frame by frame. Should be switch as far as image sequence. Here we go. And oh, that's good. You can do it in this image sequence. Okay, that's a new thing. This is because I used to have the old one, so I'm not familiar. But just drag them in. We've got 5. Highlight all of them. They're all numbered. Go to OK. Is that going to work? It works. What we need to do is size it. So dragging that down. Hopefully that's going to work. So dragging that down to a right size. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Okay, right clicking. This is right click to pan. Okay. And just press play, and they start popping. Oh no! I thought they were going to start popping. Shit. Okay, so that didn't work. We have to loop it. We have to literally loop it. There's probably a way to loop it. I don't know how to loop it. What's the time do? Loop? Is that what it is? I don't think that's probably not it. I'm just guessing. That's definitely not it. You can set the time, the speed as well. Obviously, that's not it. I'm just trying to. It's been a long time since I used this. I had the older version before, but you know, I know what I'm doing. Trust me. See, I'm just exploring this myself now. You know, just gonna delete that layer. Delete layer. Yeah. So usually I would have like a switch layer. I'll go to add. Here we go. Where is it? Add. No, where? Anyway, I'm just saying you can bring them. Yeah, I'm just saying you can bring them in. You know, add new layer. Why can't I add a switch layer in? That's strange, man. Let's get rid of that for a second. Add. Why will it not let me add a switch in? It's probably because I don't have multiple layers in there. Let me just see if I can just drag them in. I've totally forgotten how to use this. It's been a while anyway. Some of the features are going to be the same, obviously. So they're right here. I'm going to drag them into here. I think that's how it works anyway. Yeah, I think that is how it works. Just drag them onto the timeline, but drag them onto the screen and you see them all there in their glory. Select all of these, right? Yeah, add a switch box. Where is the switch box, man? Are you going to be fucking kidding me now? Oh, I think it's because I wasn't on frame 0. That's what it was. Right or wrong? Now I can add one? Yeah, at the beginning you must be on frame 0. Add a switch box on frame 0. I was wondering why that weren't working. Now we're going to drag these suckers in. Let these markers in. Can I just drag them straight into there? Probably can. Yes or no? No, I have to drag it onto the screen. Okay. Drag them in and pull them into the switch box, which I just did. Close that down if I want to. But the switch box thing, I can actually resize the whole thing, so it does size all frames. Zoom in. Okay. We're kind of getting it. Coming in here now. So if I go into frame 1, clicking on the timeline here, been such a long time since I've used it, you know. Oh, okay, yeah. Right click on that layer. You can name it whatever you want to name it. Frame 1, okay, yeah. Then go like, let's go to a few frames along, I guess. Yeah, you literally, it's not a time thing. It's like you have to click it by how many frames. Just like, okay, along the frames here. So 1 is this one. Boom, boom, boom. We'll do 3. See how that goes. Then we'll set to 2. 1, 2, 3. Oh, excuse me. Choose the frames you want. 1, 2, 3, and then right click on that one and choose the next one. Boom, boom. Go to that one. Then you have to go all the way back to loop it. So 1, 2, 3. Still going along, but then choosing the back again. You just choose what frames you want, basically. I've gone all the way back to frame 2 because it's going to start on 1 anyway once it's looped. And you can see we've got these things at the bottom here. Right click on one and then go to cycle and then press play, and they'll be right in there having a good time, you know what I'm saying? Bit slow there, but you know. Interval, you've got interval there of 1. Duration. Oh, this is pretty cool. Duration, keyframe 22. Set to cycle. So you can set the fucking duration. Yes, that's pretty cool, man. Set the duration for. How about I set the duration for 184 frames? 84 frames. I'm going to set it for 84 frames. I don't know if that's. But it's saying keyframe 22. I'm thinking it's probably just going to stay on that. What happens if I click away? I think that's why we're getting the loops and oh, it just stays there now. And then it goes back to this. Ah. Oh no, hang on, that's because it's like I set that to a couple of thousand. Hold on, I set that to a couple of thousand. Press play. Then what happens? We should go to the 80 and then start again. And it continues. So let's go back to the start. I press stop, back to the start, press play. It should go all the way up to 80 something. Now, hang on, what? Oh no, it stays that one stays till 8. The last frame, it loops basically until it gets to that last one, and it stays on that till 80, sorry, and then it starts again looping the whole time. So if I wanted to get to this particular frame here, yeah, you could probably do that again, couldn't it? That's what I'm saying. I have to go back and choose the frame, wouldn't I? So where are we? So frame, I don't even know. Add keyframe, interval, custom label. This is pretty cool, I must say. Got different things you can do in this. So anyway, but forget that, let's just undo all of that. Just set it to cycle, as I say. It just constantly plays the whole time. Absolute by 1. I guess absolute by 1 probably means how many times it's going to do that, but I don't think I'll probably bother with that anyway. I'll just change switch boxes. I'll switch so it switches. You can have switches within switches. So you've got a looping punch combination, a looping punch or a looping kick, and they're looping the whole time within a switch box, looping those frames. But then you can add another one, and that 2 looping ones, and you switch in a switch box, a switch folder. You switch between those 2 folders, which is a punch or the kick. But those 2 are also switch boxes, which are constantly set to cycle. But the other one's not a cycle. You just change it as it goes along on the key on the timeline. Basically, you set where, right click and then choose where it switches to, what image or what folder, basically. And then what I'm going to say though is on here you can also go to let me turn this off for a second, hold on. You can go to here, that just loops the whole time because I've set it to cycle. just a few frames, but it's cycling, you know. What you can also do is you can move this folder, because these images are within this folder. I didn't rename it, I didn't give it a name. I could give it a name, it's just layer 2 right now. But I can literally move this here, like move it along. Oh, excuse me, no. From, you must be on frame 1 first, set up where it's going to be. So they're like here. Hold on, so frame 0, right? Frame 0 first, set them here at frame 0. When you go to frame 1, you're going to start them off, you know. When they get somewhere along here, drag on the timeline at the bottom here, pull them along, go to here. I might want to shrink them down, bring them a bit low because of the feet there, then bring them back, you know, over here, a bit bigger, you know. Then they come across here, and just go across. And then from here I could like literally probably just select those frames here and just go select both of those here, drag and select both of the box, right click and go to cycle, so it cycles that now as well. So when I press play, and it shouldn't show those lines while it's playing, if I click on another layer or click somewhere, if I press play, oh, what's going on, man? Oh, there, you have to click on that? No. I thought it was going to have them dancing. Come on now. You gotta have them dancing, man. Oh, okay, I select all of them. You have to select all of them and press cycle, right? So, okay. Select all of your frames on every layer and press cycle. Is that going to work? Oh, come on now, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Oh, come on. Why is that not working? That's strange, because I've not set it up properly, obviously. Let me just zoom. How do you zoom out on this thing? How do you zoom out? I know we're taking quite a while now, but you know, can't help that. I can turn on onion skins too on this. Sound, how to display stuff like wire. All that, you know. Trying to find how to zoom in. Sequencer, motion graph, these things as well. Workspace, zoom things around. I don't understand that. It's just going across here, but they're not playing. I think it's because this one's not cycling for some reason. I had to recycle it or something. It seemed. It's just crazy. I think there's something wrong with my god damn it, my thing. How do, not exactly, but how do I zoom out here? That is so strange. How do I zoom out? Oh shit. Moving everything across now. Oh, the last frame's a cycle. But you get the idea though. You've got to drag these. It's like they're there, but they ain't, you know. Layer here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, you get the idea. That's what I'm basically saying. I get the idea. Let's just press play anyway, and you'll see what I'm saying. That is how it works anyway, but and you go there, and that's what you got. You got the dudes moving in the hood, you know, and that's how it works. But I thought there was like there must be like a frame rate to this, frames per second. Where is it? At the top here, frames per second. Maybe it's because. Timeline channels. View timeline channels. Where's that? Nope. Maybe it's because like they're moving on different time speeds, like different frame rates for each one, aren't they? Which makes a bit of sense. But I don't know how to zoom in on the timeline. I used to be able to just zoom in with the zoom. You know. Whatever. But that's how you work a little bit in that anyway. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video and say thanks a lot for watching. We're not going to keep that onion man, so we're going to get rid of the guy now. You may or may not be sad to know. Big thanks for watching this one. I've got to start drawing them heads now. I've got all those heads to draw. Got a lot of designs for different characters to draw. Hope you enjoyed my head, man. I hope you're not falling asleep in this video so far. Take care. Thanks for watching. Take care, and you take care of yourselves. I hope this video gets to you guys in good time and good quality. Good quality. Yes. Here's life. It's such. Let me just check first this is saved. Okay. Take care now. Bye for now. Very long video.